Trading standards plays a key role in the community, and it's crucial, both to the local economy and the national competitive framework, that trading standards provides a high quality, consistent and responsive service. So, Kathleen Abraham, what is it that trading standards actually does?
I think the main role of trading standards is to give confidence to the consumers on the island to can go into a garage, into an off licence or a pub, and actually get confident that what they want to purchase is what they actually get. It's the same across the country, and to create a level playing field for all traders.
Being an intelligence-led service, their specific areas of work vary. Trading standards aim to use the resources they have in the most effective way in order to protect businesses and the community.
Our efforts are always directed towards what is the hot topic at the moment. Probably if we were looking now, we'd be saying rogue traders and intellectual property theft. It may be that we feel that there are businesses that require our help to comply with the laws. On the other hand, it may be that there are rogue traders operating in the area, so we would direct our efforts in that direction. We have a regional intelligence unit, and all information, for example, about rogue traders is fed into that regional intelligence unit, which has links with other intelligence units such as the police. So for the sake of a phone call, we can check out any suspect rogue trader in the area. It's very important that we work with other trading standard services. We have an arrangement with all of the trading standard services in the South East, all 19 of them, to share projects, share expertise, and to share coordination. In that way, we can be much more effective and punch above our weight.
As part of the process of protecting businesses and consumers, trading standards are responsible for ensuring correct weights and measures are used when trading.
I think weights and measures is the forgotten part of the work that we do. It's the oldest form of consumer protection and still remains a very important part of consumer protection. But it's not only consumer protection, it's protection for businesses as well. So we do put some effort into what we call metrology, what you call weights and measures. Petrol is a really good example because it's an expensive commodity. You can't see it being measured. There is just that assumption that the machine is right, and the only way that you know the machine is right is because we've tested it. If a petrol pump was just a few % out, the detriment to the business could be huge, just as it could be collectively to consumers.
So you test their equipment against yours. How do you know yours is right?
Well, ours is tested against the national standards. The National Weights and Measures Laboratory do that on a regular basis, and then we test the equipment that we use against the standards that we hold. And where there's little need for test, then it will be only every 2 or 3 years maybe. Where there's a high need for test, and petrol pumps again is a good example, it would certainly be at least annually. And where there was grounds to think that there was very expensive commodities or high throughput, then we would do it more frequently. It depends on the use really.
But with a population of around 139,500 on the Isle of Wight and over 8,000 businesses, trading standards officers have their work cut out for them and are also involved in many other aspects of business and consumer protection.
Animal health and welfare is something that people probably don't realise that we do. We have got a dedicated officer that spends all her time on animal health and welfare. Explosives is quite an interesting one in that all sellers or all keepers of explosives have to be registered with us, but obviously that's mainly people that sell fireworks, and it's obviously a possibly dangerous product, and therefore our key aim there is to ensure that the products are kept safely and that they're only sold to the people that they should be sold to.
Now, what about counterfeit goods and intellectual property theft? Is that a big thing on the island?
Potentially it's huge, particularly with the way that the internet is going now. It's very easy to set up a business from home importing goods from, say, China and just selling them on eBay, and that can be quite lucrative. Something that we do see more and more now are itinerant traders coming over, perhaps visiting industrial estates, working from premise to premise, trying to sell counterfeit DVDs to the workers, and that's an increasing trend.
And of course there are scams, many of which target businesses. Scam Busters is the Trading Standards Regional Fraud Unit, with teams made up of dedicated trading standards officers who work alongside officers from other enforcement agencies such as the police to help combat scams.
They're the same old scams, they come round and round again, and because they're so good they continue to work. Businesses sometimes don't appreciate that they need to be on their guard, possibly much more than consumers, because the law doesn't quite protect businesses in the way that consumers are protected. The law assumes that a businessman knows his business and is alert to these things, but quite often we find that that's not the case. So we do get calls from businesses, and unfortunately they are easily taken in sometimes, but it's normally things like an invoice for an entry in a directory, relying on the fact that the person that pays the invoice doesn't know whether the business has actually had the entry in the directory. There's all sorts of bogus directories that are actually never published, but money's taken for. And there's also things like the switch type scams, where an overpayment is sent for goods, and then a request comes for a repayment of the overpayment, and of course the original cheque bounces but the business's cheque doesn't, so the scammer walks off with a tidy profit sometimes. There's so many variations on these different scams, and the people that do them are so clever and so plausible, and that's why businesses need to be probably very, very alert to these things. It's a matter of understanding how the scams work and recognising them for what they are when they arrive.
And that's just one area where trading standards can help. Another is with the purchasing of goods and services, and a major initiative was launched 4 years ago on the Isle of Wight to help with this. So what is the Buy with Confidence scheme?
The Buy with Confidence scheme is the Isle of Wight Trading Standards Approved Trader Scheme, and it's designed to encourage businesses to comply with the law, both the spirit and the word of the law. What happens is that we invite any island business to apply. Once they've applied, we carry out an audit, which sounds very onerous, but it isn't actually. It's just basic questions about how they run the business. We inquire as to what trade associations they're members of. We ask them to carry out a criminal record check if they work in people's homes, because obviously we want to be satisfied about the quality of the people that we're putting on the scheme. We don't have anything to do with the prices that businesses charge. We're not interested in that, but we're interested in the quality of the work and the confidence they have in the way they carry out their work. And it covers businesses from all parts of the profession. We have a solicitor, we have pet grooming, we have all sorts of businesses, but we started off primarily looking at businesses that work in people's homes, because that comes in with our work to do with road traders.
And what's the reaction have you had from the public to the scheme?
It's been very good. We do a lot of work talking to local groups and all the rest of it, and people are very pleased, and we do get very good responses from members of the public having used the members.
So how have businesses reacted to the scheme?
Very well. First of all, they think we're there just to be the enforcement authority, but the main purpose of Buy with Confidence is to be partners with businesses to help them to comply with the law and to raise their profile.
Do you think working with you on Buy with Confidence has opened their eyes to what you actually do?
Yes, I do. I think they have a much better opinion of us as an authority and see the purpose that we're here for, because in fact that's our main purpose, is to encourage businesses to be successful.